A bus roars up on the road behind you and slows to a crawl at your side. Inside, you can barely see people moving, dancing, swaying. Strings of lights, strange smoke.
Want a ride?
The driver calls. Before you can open your mouth, a huge hairy hand like an animal's paw lands heavy on her shoulder. "Not this one," a voice growls, so deep it vibrates your rib cage. The driver shrugs, leaves you in a cloud of perfumed exhaust. Here's a derelict school building, shutters nailed shut, wind-drifted dunes piled against the walls, broken desks lined up in the basketball court. While you rest on the front porch, the doors open, and someone gives a startled yelp. He's an older man, tidy and unshaven, carrying a toolbox in one hand and brandishing a broom in the other. "Don't squat here," he growls. "We're not abandoned." You book it across the baseball diamond. He doesn't follow. And when you reach the road, you look back and see him pacing in the basketball court, teaching to the rows of empty desks.
That very man comes for to tally up my worth. I won't leave much to find that can be found. Well, I'm gonna heft my spade up upon my weary back. I'm gonna keep lacerates tucked in my soul.
From the windows of the store, you can hear a radio, turned all the way up, tuned to the Grand Ole Opry show being played across town. Two young girls sit outside listening to the music. Suddenly, it cuts off, and they howl in protest. The place is dark and empty. There's certainly no radio to be seen, nor any people. Just a lot of sad dust, marked where the furniture used to stand. Footprints of old memories. When you turn around, the children have left.
They're the ones who'll bury me.
I wanted to be the best blues singer in the world. By God, I was. I was born a poor girl in Memphis, Tennessee. No father, he run out. No mama either. She was there, but she weren't there really. All alone but for my Uncle Richard, my baby brother Marcus. All alone but for the guitar. Ooh. Now I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it. I drink to that. You want to hear about my family? Uncle would save me bread and milk. Uncle would play his songs for me and I would clap and laugh. Uncle would press my fingers to the string, tell me, "Go on ahead, girl." Then Uncle died. I'm in the mood for a good, hopeful story. You got any? Oh, that one made me smile. I don't like to think about the past. When I lay down to bed now, I hear Marcus cry out to me. hungry, he says. When I was a girl, all I wanted was to help him. Ooh, now I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it. Oh, now that pain. Oh, yeah. I felt freedom. There's nothing like the feeling when you sing and your soul leaves your body. Ooh, now I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it. That's like a song. Pretty and sad. Heaven. The white man showed up in Memphis. Heard me singing for dimes outside the barbershop. I thought he was an angel when I met him. Ooh, now I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it. That's like a song. Pretty and sad. Don't believe what anyone promises you about the future. I signed a contract. I thought it was to lead to fame and glory, but it was a lie. Sun is up. One more night gone. I need to be going. If you want to hear more about the deal I made, you can look for me up the road this way. I was about 25 when I left my first record contract, no more richer than I was before. Those men took me around like a freak show, me and my guitar, my sad songs. I didn't know what to do once I was free again. Alone, drinking my sorrows. That's where the devil found me.
Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by I'll see them far and long. When the night come down for to take me hand in hand, this will be my take.
And Silo have seen better days. One big storm might bring the whole structure down. He sighs.
My boy is missing. I haven't seen him since last night.
You climb the ladder and make your way across the roof. A trail of empty beer bottles leads you past a discarded shirt and to the base of the silo. You maneuver your way along the edge, keeping your weight off the rotted panels. The man's waiting at the bottom of the barn ladder. He chokes back a sob.
I told him not to go up there. I told him.
'Cause when my coals burn low and my trains run out of track, won't be no one else to dig my hole. Step
A hurried little girl collides into you with a wheelbarrow full of hay, nearly knocking you out of your shoes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You nod, but the way the girl fusses over the wheelbarrow, was that apology meant for you?
Lost? Me? No, not at all.
She stands up taller and squares her shoulders, projecting an image of adulthood so stiff she looks about to tip over.
But I guess I could use a little help. Can I ask you something pretty, please? Well, I found this critter, but my daddy won't let me keep it unless I take real good care of it.
Relating this dilemma has put her on the verge of tears.
Do you know how I can be the very best pet owner in the world?
The girl bursts into hysterical laughter, like she just heard the funniest joke.
Well, I don't know how to feed it when it don't have a mouth.
The laughter fades, and her look of worry returns.
Any other ideas?
She smiles so bright.
That's all it takes? Gosh, I already love it so much.
A woman waits while a man in a truck fills 2 of her buckets with scoops of whitish powder from a bin. She takes you up the drive to her farmhouse, where her son and daughter are mixing something in a metal barrel.
Locust.
You use a broom handle to mix the poison with bran. The teens watch from the porch. The twisters touch down in a cornfield, fence posts flying in its wake. A huge black stallion charges toward the tornado. On its back, a cowboy whips his lasso through the churning air, nearly matching the twister's speed. His wild laughter carries on the wind.
God damn it, Bill!
Another man hollers, clapping his hands to his hat to keep it from flying off.
Quit being a damn fool!
The man on the horse turns toward him and flashes a beatific grin before digging his heels harder into the horse's flanks. His Stetson goes flying, caught by a gust. He doesn't seem to notice. He barks a single yee-haw as he stands in the stirrups, leaning into the whirlwind. In a moment, man and beast are enveloped in the storm. All you can hear is Bill's wild laughter.
Ride with us a little while, stranger.
There are 4 of them on the wagon. A perfect nuclear family. Mother, father, son, daughter. And a small fuzzy terrier trailing behind.
Ain't no point rushing to get where we were going.
The wooden cart shivers with every pebble on the road that its wheels must laboriously traverse. You get to walking at a good pace. The corridors of Cincinnati's music hall reverberate with the sounds of an orchestra warming up for rehearsal.
If we unbolt the light rig, we can crush them,
says a voice up ahead. No, another answers. Hiding Baldy's baton will be sufficient to stop the din. The tuxedoed men are slightly transparent. Mustachio on the right has his arms folded. The weaselly one on the left scowls. They start at your arrival.
I'm gonna undo those bolts.
Weasel feature vanishes into thin air.
Damn it all, says the other man. We used to be members of the orchestra until, well, you know. Patrick doesn't care for the new blood. It seems like talent died with us, so he does his damnedest to stop them playing. But I can't allow violence against fellow artists. Help me stop him. With the right tool, you can banish them from the hall. You see, no spirit can stand the sound of the purest of all instruments. No. No. No.
He shakes his head, exasperated.
No. The triangle. The orchestra has one, but their percussionist's a sop. He never hits it right. If you can get there, you can ensure the only thing brutalized here today is Chopin.
The orchestra is midway through practice. They're in dire need of it. The percussionist dozes on his stool. Everyone's oblivious to the muttering from the lighting rig. You sprint down the aisle and elbow through the incensed musicians. The percussionist falls off his stool as you clamber over his xylophone. You grab the beater and bring it down onto the triangle, eliciting a pure, resounding note. And the rafters ring with laughter. The mustachioed ghost appears next to you, doubled over, invisible to the furious orchestra.
I never thought you'd fall for that. The triangle, for God's sake. Thanks for shutting them up, though.
There's something wrong about this lonely farmhouse. The cows have unusual rain over the porch, and the open door shows a cow lying in the empty parlor. The moment you step inside the fence, an old woman screams.
Hey! Hey! This is private property!
You can see a parlor set up in the basin under the porch. A flowery armchair, a rug, and a little lacquered table.
That's right.
She shouts.
I'm a grown woman. I can live any way I please.
Come across a girl picking wild blueberries. You reach in the basket for blueberries, but pull out a handful of small, smooth stones, all the colors of the rainbow. When the stones reach the top of their arc above your head, They turn into butterflies, all the colors of the rainbow.
Well, I'm gonna heft my spade up upon my weary back. I'm gonna keep that stride stuck in my soul. 'Cause when my coals burn low and my trains run out of track, there won't be no one else to dig
The plants grow and blossom as you watch. He turns to you.
It's quite something, isn't it?
He shakes his head.
I'm not giving up my secrets that easily.
It's just bitter at first. But as you swallow, the fibrous mass burns in your throat. He waves a hand.
Well, yes, there are some kinks to work out, but people are starving.
Well, I'm gonna scroll my name on the bare bones of the earth. I'm gonna dig my heels into the ground. 'Cause when that ferryman comes for to tally up my worth, I won't leave much to find that can be found.
Why, hello there. Look like that's a heavy bag you're carrying. Let me get that for you. I insist. You see this uniform? It means you can trust me to make sure this is the most comfortable journey you've ever had in your life. Who am I? Well, I'm no George, I'll tell you that. But that's not important. This trip is about you, friend. Have any optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those. Just like I told you, friend, miles of smiles. The past, that's a tricky thing. Yes, porters may remind you of a certain type of way folks of our type used to be. There's no fighting that, just happily working past it. You got any stories with a bit of excitement to them? Didn't I hear that story on the radio? You told it better, though. If you're looking for freedom, just think about how magnificent a train is, how the railroad binds this country together. Hop on and go anywhere. That's freedom. And that's my life. Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good, happy story. You got me? Positive attitude. That's what I like to hear. Trust. Well, a train ride can be a disorienting experience, especially for a first timer. You gotta have faith that a porter can keep you calm and comfortable. And we've gotta earn that faith each and every time. Have any optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those. Positive attitude. That's what I like to hear. If you're looking for family, you know why a porter can treat a passenger better than anywhere else? Because when you step on this train, you're family. It doesn't matter who you were before or who you're going to be after you step off. You got any stories with a bit of excitement to them? Whew, that's a wild one, all right. Worrying about luck? Well, a porter is as reliable as any piece of machinery that makes sure this train runs on schedule. So there's no need to worry about something like luck. Another night over. I surely did enjoy all those stories, though. Maybe next time I'll let down my hair a bit. What do you say? You must excuse me, friend. What kind of porter am I saying this trip is all about you, only to start talking about my own damn self? But enough of my indulgences. I hope I see you again.
The baby buffalo lies tangled by a fence, wire biting into its flesh. "Please," it says, "I must reach the sanctuary before they find me." The light here has a thin quality. Colors are oddly muted. There's a taste of something old in the air. "They were hunters of my kind. I am the last born. Every year it repeats. I must run. They must chase. It is the cycle that lets my people survive." You hear hoofbeats. A ways back down the road, a cloud of dust rises. The buffalo struggles. "Please, help me." The wire cuts into your hands, but you untangle the animal. The buffalo charges off as soon as it's free. "Come on!" You glance behind. A trio of riders emerges at the head of the dust cloud. You run alongside the buffalo. "Not far," it grunts. "Just ahead." You see the boundary, a line of rocks that mark the border, but the hoofbeats sound close. The ground dips, and the beast stumbles and falls. I'll be on you any second. You snatch up the beast and run for the boundary line. All you can hear is the pounding hooves and the whooping of the riders. They're on you just before you reach the line. You hurl the buff forward as you fall. The buffalo crosses the line and turns with a defiant bellow. Primal sound that far outstrips its size. It drags its feet through the dirt, kicking up a cloud of dust. When it settles, the four are nowhere to be seen. You hear the distant clamor of a herd in motion.